You And this video will be a little bit different from my previous attempts because I've already finished all the audiophile related topics that I felt like talking about in my Red archive. And this shall be the last equipment related video for quite a while. For those who have not been following this channel, I don't usually buy things unless they look really interesting to me. Even if I buy things, I don't talk about it unless it exceeds my expectation or it's just notoriously bad. And this set not only falls within the first category, but also by a country mile. And that's why I feel the need to talk about what I don't like about it first. First of all, I don't have good memories of this kind of recessive 0.78mm connector since I broke mine on SA6 Mark II just by normally switching around cables. So this time I took extra care and pushed the connector very slowly and gently. Second of all, the shroud is on the chunky side, but I can sort of forgive that because I know what it's trying to achieve at this price point, and luckily it's just the thickness, not the surface area that touches the ears as well. Third of all, although the cable is very high quality and way less microphonic than the one that came with SA6 Mark II, it's still on the widget side. And with that being said, the following parts of the video will be all about the things that I like about this set. We good? Cool. But before that, let's talk about why I chose to swipe for DaVinci out of all the recent releases. The reason is really simple. Once upon a time I watched a video on the Headphone Show featuring Vision gave a visit to Gizaudio or Timmy's room. And the room legit looked like a loved version of Asmongo's room. Maybe just lacking a can of soda or two. At that moment, a thought occurred. If I'm going to buy a collab set again, it's gonna be from this man. So here we go. And this is DUNU X Gizaudio DaVinci, a 2DD 4BA hybrid set with a price tag of $299. And this driver setup seems familiar, isn't it? Isn't it just DUNU's take on Blessing 3 with Gizaudio endorsing the tuning department? And that's what I thought when I contacted Hi-Fi Go and placed my order back in April. And it turns out to be a completely different monstrosity. Unlike the 2+2+2 3-way crossover configuration on Blessing 3, and this set adopts a 1+1+2+1+1 5-way crossover configuration. Namely 1 DD for sub bass, another DD for bass to lower mid, 2 BAs for mid, 1 tweeter for high, and another one for ultra high frequency. It's a highly efficient and logical setup that is supposed to provide maximum flexibility for tuning. But does it really sound like that? Spoiler alert, it does. And I will talk more about it in the sound section. Before that, let's have an usual unboxing section first. This is the box. Pretty classy, and for some reason it has the word delicate as DUNU suffix. Back of the box with some specifications on it. Obviously it's a collaboration between DUNU and Gizaudio. The real box undercover? What I see when I open the box. The drivers? A close-up of the driver. Looks like my gacha lock on the stabilized wood pattern is not too bad. Back of the driver? And I don't know who made the right call, but thank God it finally has a stopper for ear tips. You have no idea how much trouble I had while trying to tip swap for SA6 Mark II. Here's a size comparison for anyone who's interested. Everything inside the box. 3 types of ear tips and an adapter. A close-up of the cable with an interchangeable connector. To me, it's definitely better than the cable that came with SA6 Mark II, because it's less microphonic and not an L-type connector. Conductor quality and texture-wise, it feels very similar though. And now I really wonder how much DUNU gonna charge for this cable, while selling it independently, given the last one cost almost 200 bucks. And this one should at least cost 150, right? So the earphones only cost 150? Mathematics. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let's talk about build and comfort first. Build wise it's pretty solid, and the shiny faceplate with random wood pattern is just plain beautiful. Comfort wise it's okay for my ears, because the shroud is thick but not too big, just sitting outside of my ear canal normally. Now let's talk about the technical performance of this set, and I will use the method as mentioned in my previous video. If I look at micro details or sheer resolution, DaVinci is around Blessing 3 level, but with a tastier bass response, meatier mid-range, smoother treble extension, bigger imaging and soundstage. Some of you may feel confused already. Doesn't it just mean better technicality? Maybe, but I'm inclined to say that it's part of the tonality affecting my perception of micro details. And macro details wise, I will put it right below Monarch Mark II, and resolve very well even if it's under stress. So how does it generally sound like? If I have to conclude the sound signature of this set in one sentence, it's a very natural sounding set with exceptionally smooth execution on both ends, namely lows and highs. When I put this set on my ears for the first time, what surprised me was actually not the bass, but how clean and smooth it sounded in a solo vocal and string quartet piece. And then I went for some extra pop songs and EDM. The bass sounds really interesting. In some of the modern pop songs, bass is actually not just bass that serves for rhythm leading purposes. Usually there are 2 or even more parts, with sub-bass serving for the rhythm and some lower tones serving as a chord or harmony to the main melody. And the 2 DDs in this set to sing together in a harmonious way, and thus giving a new definition to bass texture and layering. Is the bass strong and thumpy? Yes, but in a gentle way. And because of how clean and smooth those BAs sound, it makes me want to crank up the volume more. At the end of the day, what do I think of this set at $299? I can imagine this set to be the endgame, or at the very least, one of the endgames for a lot of people regardless of price. It simply sounds appetizing, and the tuning is top notch on the unhateable side as well. So yeah, that's my take on DaVinci. Thank you for watching. As usual, like, comment and subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in next video. Bye! And here we go again. Welcome back to the WEEB or casual driving section of the video, in which I will try to AI generate a character to summarize my overall thoughts on the relevant product and potentially elaborate more on it. Even Newton has a waifu variant for visual novel already. Why not DaVinci? Let me cook. This time, DUNU x Gizaudio DaVinci. It kinda feels like this. I don't know whether Timmy will be watching this part of the video or not, but DaVinci is unironically a magnificent set, and you have a glowing apple on hand. Just please don't let it be discontinued out of nowhere, and everyone will be happy. I really don't have much to add on this set. I used it to play a few matches in Apex Legends, no sharpness to be found even if BAs are in charge of those gunshots. Kept shuffling between my library and YouTube for hours, listening to some broadcasts. It just sounds so natural and easy to listen to. Not to mention that everything sounds slightly bigger than I anticipate as well. With that being said, this shall be my last audio equipment related video for quite a while. And to you who are still watching till this very moment, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. As usual, links in the description down below. You know the drill on Pixiv, and if it doesn't bother you, feel free to follow my other social media accounts as well, because I just realized that I've never used any of those platforms to grow this channel. I know it sounds stupid, but as an absolute degen, I really didn't notice the problem until my friend gave a friendly reminder to me. Anyway, that's it for today. And this time for real, bye!